What's going on, everyone? Hope you're doing really well. We're here to update you on how my squad went for round 19. We're just going to go back to round 18. We're 763 in the ranking, moving to round 19's result, and just moved up slightly to 791. So not a big change and a fairly decent score with 1140 over the last week. We did have a bunch of guys that went really well, and then a few that kind of killed us a little bit, to stop us getting up over 1200. And we didn't really have a couple of those others really big scores in DCE. For example, there are Damien Cook or any of those guys that really helped a lot of the teams out. You can see, a round rank of 11,663 shows us a lot of guys that did really well, and maybe didn't have Johnson and Lolo, I suppose, because the majority of guys would be playing Walsh, for example, but the rest of the guys did really well. Schuster's 42 is still okay. My bench was really good, so crazy to see how good a lot of teams are that have the DCEs, the Hughes, and the rest of the top scorers there. But teams looking fairly solid. We do have 6 trades remaining from here. Not too much cash in the bank, which is a little bit annoying. We lose Johnson this week. Just the news just came out. It looks like 4 to 8 weeks, so he's definitely a sell as someone that has his role has changed as well. Be interesting to see who they end up picking in the halves. By the time this video comes out, the team list will already be out, but Trindle might get a really extended role. Obviously, more kick meters, chances for try assists, etc., kicking the goals. A bit more of a senior role, but we'll see who they decide to pick in that halves position. If they pick Moylan, then he's going to be doing the majority of that, or if he's back, for example. But I think Johnson will need to be traded out, but at 620k and only a little bit in the bank. I think I've got 31 now. That makes it a little bit difficult. Might have to do a downgrade somewhere, but then I've already used. This is the issue of not building up a massive team value, is that I've got Suwali, Taff, and Verrills sitting there. Verrills is that's his first really good score, and hopefully he can keep doing that, and I can have him as sort of a emergency 5. But I can't really downgrade Johnson, for example. So the question will be, who do I decide to bring in around that price point? And 650 downwards. There's a few guys close to 700, which would be nice. Even like guys like Munster would be awesome. We do lose To'o as well, so that's the latest news. Syndesmosis injury for Brian, which sucks, and hopefully for him that means it's 6 weeks and he can get back for the finals, for him and the Panthers' sake. But if it's any longer than that, they might miss him for the finals, which would be very disappointing. Only positive here that I see is that my 30k gets me to James Tedesco. So that's pretty cool. Does mean I have an issue with my halves and also my hooking positions, because I'd probably look to bring in Hunt to the half position. I suppose that's good. I've got Fogs hopefully coming back this week, but just haven't got the clear Top Gun hooker half combinations, which I'll be looking for, and which makes it unfortunate that I don't have those guys, and maybe Nico Hines is the guy I'm going to have to trade up to get the Hughes or something like that, but I don't know where the extra cash is coming from, so maybe I will have to do a downgrade. I do have 6 trades remaining. If I do 1 this week and gets me to Teddy, I can play Ted, bring Fogs in for Johnson, and I don't miss out on any good scoring, for example. But going forward, I might have to burn 1 to do a cash down to be able to get a DCE or a Hughes. I think is probably going to be how it's going to have to be. And if I happen to have any other injuries, then I could trade up to a Reed Mahoney, for example, who is sitting up in the high 600s now, 703. So a few of those guys that are scoring really well now, they're getting a bit more expensive. And if I do happen to get an injury, then that's the way I'm going to be able to get them, I believe. In terms of the rest of the team, they're kind of the 2 glaring issues. The fact that I don't have the big team value, and then the halves and the hooking position probably isn't as strong as we'd like it. So that's that there, but really happy with the contributions from Ryan Madison. He's been playing really good, much more improved over the last sort of 3 to 4 weeks. A lot more consistent playing big minutes, which is cool, and really getting involved there. A few of the games recently have been very forwards based in terms of tackles and run meters, and him playing big minutes in that kind of role has been really helpful. And then Corey Harawira-Naera actually gets up to 719k, which puts him at like a 54 average there. So that's really strong. Can't complain at all with how he's been going. They're the 2 guys that have really helped me along. Also with Joey Manu being, getting up to 632k now, one of the most expensive centers in the game. He's managed to score really well at center this time. So if he can continue that going forward, then that would be amazing for my squad. I'm not sure he'd be able to do it this week against Para. I'm only expecting like a 30 odd, but if he happens to step up and smash it, then even better. In terms of my trading this week was Tommy Trbojevic, and thankfully I didn't put the mocker on him or the curse on him that some people would have thought. And bringing in Payne Haas a couple of weeks ago is really, really awesome. Still burning at the fact that Dewey's gone amazing over the last 2 weeks, so he's also half an option for anyone who's thinking of him. Other things I could do would be someone like Victor Radley, trading him in, or getting him at a slightly cheaper price, for example. Now he's 529. He's obviously gone up a fair bit, but you can get him as like a downgrade, and maybe I can upgrade the Nico Hines to a Hughes, for example. If I went down to Radley from Johnson, and then up to Hughes from there. But I think the smartest option here is, with me not having wing fullback cover apart from Manu there, I think the smartest thing for me to do would be probably to get Tedesco at this stage. I do have the centre cover in Averillo, so I could play Manu down here, but I really want the top wing fullbacks in the game, and I think Teddy, coming into this last portion of the year, it really needs to go hard, and I think he will do so. Apart from that, Lola had a bit of an off week. We spoke about him in the other team. Just say someone that you can hold there steady. Jack Bird's one of the really top guys who can cover that edge position as well. And as I said, hopefully Fogs comes back and helps us out going forward. So that's the squad at the moment. I'm still really happy with the rank after the start I had to the year. We've done really well. Most people are really struggling for trades now, and you see RTS is going back home. I just wanted to mention him and the service he's put in for the game, and especially just being able to see him as such an amazing player in our game, but especially over this last 2 years, leading, being the captain of this Warriors side for that last 2 years, especially with them deciding that they're going to set up shop here in Australia, and I have no qualms in him going back home before they get locked out of being able to do that, so he can see his family and just live a normal life again. Because I imagine it's been hard for a lot of people this last few years, but especially for those guys that, yes, they're playing sport for their team and representing that and their family and everything like that, earning a lot of money, whatever you want to say about it, but they are humans in the end, and it's good to see him put that service in, but then being able to go home, and he's had an awesome career. So congrats to RTS and to Roger and all his family there. I suppose that's probably my last little sign off for this video. And he was a service to my squad as well, even though he got moved to the wing at that point. So yeah, as I said, guys, as I always say, please like, subscribe. Really appreciate all love and support, and we'll catch you in the next video. We're going to go through the team list. See you guys.